Hello viewers, you're welcome to Economy Today on TVRC. I am your host for today. Olaniun Kudus Oluwatobiloba is my name. And here with me on set, we have Dr. Akintunde Some Vincent. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
It's really good to have you with us today on set. Today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic which I believe needs to be addressed. The issue of subsidy removal from public utilities, its impact on a nation's development, on a nation's citizens, as well as a nation's economy. So for us to get started today, I would like to ask, Doctor, a lot of people out there know about they've heard about subsidy, but many of them do not have an inkling of what subsidy entails, especially in the Nigerian sector, especially in Nigeria here. So I'd like to ask, what exactly is subsidy and what is its relevance to national development?
Well, ordinarily, when you look at the word subsidy implies, it's a financial support or a financial grant, given to the citizen of a particular country from that country's government.
Okay.
And a very good example is, take a look at our country. We are so blessed with mineral resources. We are so blessed. For example, take a look at crude oil. Don't forget that our crude oil is being exported. We export our crude oil to other countries. So the proceeds from that crude oil is what they use to support the citizens. The government will be the one to pay the salary.
Okay.
The government will be the one to produce infrastructure. It is from these proceeds that all these things are done. And when we talk about subsidy, like I said, it's a financial support. Take a look at, we also produce, still on petroleum products. We have PMS, we have diesel. Ordinarily the production price is quite much. But to reduce the effects, government must pay certain amount of money to cushion the effect of that petroleum product. This is what we call subsidy.
Okay.
And that's what was removed. That's why today we are talking about subsidy removal on petroleum products. It was actually removed so that would give way to other infrastructural facilities.
Okay.
For the production of, would now give way for the development of other sectors, because the government believe that the money pumped on petroleum products is humongous, is too much for them to they can pump such amount of money on such and still be able to look straight into other sectors.
Wow. So
like I said, it's a support from the government, but does the money belong to the government? No. It's just the money, after the whole thing, they will look at how much they've been able to gather over time, and they see how they can support the citizens. And that's what we call subsidy. And it's not just done on petroleum product alone, even on education.
Yes.
There's a certain amount of money being paid. Who are those paying the salary of federal workers? It is still the same government. Okay. Where's the money gotten from? Fine, we may say that we have we have students who are in those universities. But even at that, government still need to pump certain amount of money. Take a look at our electricity. Okay. With all the national grids collapse. Grids collapsed today. Group collapse yesterday,
tomorrow.
Concurrent collapse of the grids. Who is going to buy the new grid? Is it you? Are you the one to buy it? Is it myself? No, it's going to be the government. So there's a certain amount of money pumped into electricity sector to ameliorate, to cushion the effect of whatsoever that is happening in that particular area. Look at health sector. Look at our health sector. Okay, there's a certain amount of money pumped on the health sector to subsidize. Okay, maybe on each of the citizens. If you are supposed to pay like 100 naira, you are told to pay 30 naira.
30 naira, yeah.
So you have been something naira has been subsidized already. So like I said, it's just a financial grant, financial support, to cushion the effect of, to ameliorate poverty, to cushion the effect of, whatsoever that is happening around, so that citizens can be so proud to have can be so proud to have belonged to that particular country. They can have what we call the sense of belonging.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Just to reiterate what you said earlier on, at least for the advantage of our viewers, you gave an analogy earlier on about paying 100 naira probably for your health, and instead of paying 100 naira, you're paying 30 naira.
Yeah.
Okay, 70 naira has been
removed.
So the 70 naira that is paid by the government
is
the
subsidy. That's the subsidy. So it's a financial grant.
Yes.
The financial support from the government melted on the citizens.
Thank you very much, sir. So now, this brings me to the next question, because the idea of subsidy, as you've just said, it is very, very important, especially for a nation's development and even to help citizens as well. Now, how has the federal government's decision to remove subsidy from these public utilities? You mentioned education, you mentioned petroleum sector, you mentioned health, you mentioned electricity. So how has their decision to remove this subsidy from these public utilities affected, the average Nigerian citizen, and even its economy as well as a whole?
It has affected this country, terribly. Take a look at statistics-wise. Nigeria is one of the poorest nation on earth. After Afghanistan, it's always Nigeria. When you look at it economic-wise, when you look at the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, the poverty index, you see Nigeria at the bottom. Why? Because Nigeria seems not to be getting it right. I don't know why on net you want to remove the subsidy. Even in America, a developed nation, they are still paying subsidy. In UK, they are still paying subsidy. But Nigeria, because I don't know what the government wants to save money for. Maybe they are saving money for themselves, I don't know. The only thing that drives the economy is once you remove the subsidy. So, like you said, when in your question, that this subsidy removal has really, sent us backward, not forward. In US, they are still paying subsidy. The point we are mixing here is that we are mixing subsidy payment, for its right course to subsidy payment into the hands of criminals. That's what we are missing. Is it right to pay subsidy? Yes. Is it right to pay subsidy into the hands of criminal element? No. So those who are benefiting from the subsidy, they are just few Nigerians who are benefiting. But, for example, take a look at the petroleum products. Only few cabals, they are the ones receiving the large chunks of money. And over time, even when they are able to import those petroleum, like for example PMS, into the country, you notice that they will not even serve the interest. They are not even serving the interests of Nigerians. Eventually, the PMS is being imported, and before you know it, it finds its way outside the shore of Nigeria again, into the neighboring African countries like Togo, like Benin Republic, and even Cameroon.
This is interesting.
Instead of using the subsidy that has been paid to serve the interests of Nigerians, they are still very much, they still have their own personal interest at heart by sending it to another foreign nations. So, like I said, is it right to pay? Is it right to subsidize on public utilities, on the resources that God has blessed us with? Yes, it's right. Take a look at how much they are selling gas. How much you eventually pay on gas in the US? Is it commercial rate? Look at even water. Even what's it called? Even in the US, you have to pay for, is it $30 or $40 monthly for your data, for your internet connection, and you are going to use it seamlessly. There's no limitation. There's no limit anywhere. But in Nigeria, you can use 100,000 naira to buy data within the tinkle of 15 days, and it's gone. 15 days, 100,000 naira for data. And you are being monitored closely. Before you know it, the data has finished. The data has finished. Yes. So, like I said, the approach to subsidy removal in this country is so terrible, it's so bad. Because the government, I don't know what they are. Perhaps they are not thinking. But I don't know if they are thinking right. I don't know if they are thinking right. So, subsidy removal, paying subsidy on. Okay, take a look at our PMS. Now you remove the PMS. Now you remove subsidy on PMS. Now they sold for 1,200, 1,100 naira, 1,030 naira. Let's say 1,000 plus. How many do you think? How many can afford to purchase this PMS? Like I said, most shops they are closed. Now take a look at the SMSC. I love using salon. Now they hear you ordinarily, bab for 700, 1,000 naira before. Now it is now 2,000 naira, 2,500. Now people will devise other means. I've seen people who have not resorted to self-shave. They will shave them. You will see. They will shave their hair. They will shave their hair. They will shave head by themselves. Abolo. They barb abolo. Skin. because they cannot afford
because
to, just because they cannot afford it anymore.
Just haircut, yes.
Usually you go to the salon just to have your beard shaved, you know. But now everybody is going on skin now because they cannot afford it. So this issue of some, and look at what, tell me the man who owns the salon, how is he going to feed his family? Now most of the cars, most of the taxi drivers, they are no longer plying the roads. They drop their taxi because they cannot afford to get this PMS. So is it to the advantage of the owner of the taxi? The man will eventually park the taxi, and when you are not driving the taxi, what happened to the engine? It definitely get bad.
It degrades gradually.
So these are part of the dynamics. Payment of subsidizing things. In short, you are making life better for your citizens.
For citizens, yes.
But the moment you remove the subsidy, then everything becomes so difficult. And like I said, for the opt-in time, one of the drivers for our economy in this country is petrol. The moment you remove the petrol from everything, and that's what you're witnessing. Look at our production rate in this country, very low. Even those that are producing, the prices are very on the high side. Do you know how much detergent is being sold for? Detergent. How much are they? Even cement that were produced that one of the industrial hub. What can you buy? Even when you remove subsidy, you are even killing your currency. Now I ask you, what can you buy with 15 naira in this country? What can you buy with 20 naira? 20 naira is even obsolete. But when you subsidize, you know, people out there, market will be forced to, people will be forced to reduce their prices. Because you pump money, people will not have any excuse anymore not to want to buy. But when you remove the subsidy, then the price will be on the high side, and then demand will be very low. This issue of demand and supply here. When the demand is low, then you see things started getting spoiled in the market. When you cannot afford to get a basket of tomatoes, it's being sold for 30 or 50,000 naira, 30,000 naira. Eventually, you resort to little. The little you can make do with. And what happened to the remaining tomatoes? It gets spoiled. So it's a shortage. On the side of the seller.
Wow, that's a lot, sir. I would just like to add to what you said before we go to the final question for today's session. Regarding, because you basically buttressed upon petroleum sector and the issue of petrol and the subsidy removal on petrol. But I also like to
take a look at education. Take a look at education.
Exactly. Education.
No, take a look at education. Ordinarily, education is supposed to be, there should be it should be open to all at a particular level. For example, you have the basic education, you have the post-basic education, and we have the tertiary education. Basic education, do you know the number of out-of-school children we have in this country? Because the government seems not to be financing enough our education. And they are still part of the subsidy. When you are able to pump money to education, that shows that you are financing, you are subsidizing education for the kids. But when you are not doing that, what happened to the education?
And now it has become a very serious thing now.
Look at the number of out-of-school children that we have. Out-of-school children that we have in this country. They are in their millions. Millions. Go to the north, up north, the Almajiris. Go to, in short, visit your neighborhood.
And that's the thing. Even the children are the future of the.
And then you are as good as your level of education. When you are not given the right education, then you'd say be ready for what happens in the long run. You start producing criminals because people are loitering the street. Yes. They are not doing anything. So they are even inimical to the society. They are endangered. They are endangered. Uneducated children. They are endangered species. That they are ready. They can do it because they are not tamed. They are not tailored, to fit into the society. That's why you see when society eventually become the jungle justice.
Yes.
Okay, because just take a look at a child that is not taught some value. Look at our value system in this country. Everybody believe that when you are in the politics, you also have to have your national cake. Is that not an archaic mindset, archaic mentality? It's as a result of, look, it is in this same country that you have to have a degree. You have to have a degree before you can be given a job. But to become a politician, you don't need a degree to become a politician. To become a senator in this country, you don't need a degree.
School certificate.
Primary school certificate. Then
really
can you use that primary school certificate to go and work at in any parastatal organization?
It's really a big shame.
So take a look at the dynamics. So many things seems to be wrong with our system.
You've said a lot, Doctor. You've said a lot. Thank you very much for that contribution. Just to finalize this session, I would like to ask finally, because you were talking about the issue of production. So I want to ask, what exactly would you suggest is the way forward, the measures that can be put in place to be able to address this issue of subsidy for the country and to be able to better the economy?
Way forward is for us to do the right thing. What is the right thing? Paying subsidy is not bad. But dealing with corruption, paying subsidy into the hands of criminal elements is what is bad. So we need to address corruption.
Okay.
Corruption, all quarters, at all levels. We need to strengthen our institutions, like the EFCC, the ICPC, even the police. They are not exempted. The police, they are not exempted because they are to enforce the law. So we need to address our system. We need to look at our constitutions. Constitution that will tell you that when a child, steals something out there, then it can be lynched and can be, lynched to whatever. But when a corrupt politician, when he steals something or steals from the system, they will tell you it's a misappropriation of fund. They will call it all manner of name. They say it's theft, misappropriation of fund. They will call it all manner of names. Like Fela said, a thief is a thief. No matter how you want to color it, a thief is a thief. So why not address it like that? Yes, so like I said, we have to look at our system.
Yes, address
the issue of corruption. Bring in Barack Obama into the system, we will not do anything. Bring in Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore. All the giants all those people in Chinese, all those Chinese who transform China today, bring them to the system, they will not do anything. So we need to, because even the system, we even corrupt a saint. So we need to look at the system. The system constitution is part of the system. Our institutions, they are part of the system. But at the forefront is our constitution, because that will be our ground norm. It's one that will eventually guide us, not even eventually, it's one that guides our path, our directions. If we are able to have the right constitutions, I can tell you this country will produce pathfinders, we produce trailblazers, and we also produce pace setters.
That's a lot. Thank you very much, Doctor. You've said a lot already today. And there you have it, viewers, on Economy Today on TVRC. I remain your humble host, Olaniyan Kudus Oluwatobiloba. We look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.